afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero Strike, Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Famous approach between the south. You got Ku2521, fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Here taking on the role of the 4th Infantry Division versus the north. You got Unknownlegend, fighting for the Oberkommando West, Germany, Deutschland. Rolling out here with the 160th Panzer Brigade, Feldherrn Halle with fortifications, Luftwaffe and Feuersturm, triple infantry, versus Rifle Company, infantry and airborne company here for Ku with triple infantry as well. We got a double rifle staff and we got a double full escort here for Unknownlegend. Both players aiming for the infantry. Ku here aiming for the centre of the map here, whereas Unknownlegend is heading into the less than unknown northern half of the map. Sturm Pioneer swiftly advancing and throwing down that barbed wire. Alright, I want this barbed wire as tight as possible. Not like last time, Fritz. Not like last time. I'm sorry, it was once. Yeah, once, and they marched for half of Normandy because of that, you idiot. Fuller's moving out here. Right, we're moving up here. They might chance to push up here, even wire off here. In this case, we're going to be intercepted by a full squad. Carnot decays versus the M1 carbine. Quickly shifts away from here. In the south, we can see there that Ku just advances freely for freedom. Sandbags up here. Note the positioning pretty much means he can contest the house if it gets occupied with the Americans. And of course also means the Americans can't contest the point while using any sort of cover there easily. So that overall sets up quite well there for Unknownlegend. There you go. Very good flanking, moving in from the north. Swinging behind Ku here, using the cuff point here to get behind him. Very strong move here by Unknownlegend in the opening moments of the game here. Very strong move. Definitely not the sort of usual move you see there. And nothing further going on. They of course be preoccupied here with this flank, and there you go, third full squad on the way as Ku is going for a third rifle squad. Hitting the cuff point there with great force and then swinging more troops to take advantage of the opening gap he made here. Again, strong flank there by Unknownlegend. Very strong flank. Solid stuff, solid stuff. And quick moving into wire off here. Even stronger stuff there. The does mean his field point here is meant, but again, this sort of maneuver here can certainly have a great effect in the early game. Can certainly cause his opponents some harm, some distress, and of course get him some good kills there, hopefully in more favourable environments. In this case, it's also bleeding up while he's not doing so much damage there, so this could perhaps turn into protected engagement, which is not in the favour of Unknownlegend. He would rather prefer using speed and damage here rather than just slugging that, and so for that he was sort of fearing here Ku was now going to hit the fuel point, which he can't easily defend. So it might be here that Ku was a bit too slow, or too, I think, preoccupied with wiring off here to consider the rest of what he was doing here, and I think that might have landed him in a slightly sticky situation. We got troops rushing forward, incendiary grenade off here, troops retreating. There goes successfully pushing him back. Sturm Pioneer flanking the rifle, quickly pull up behind him. Oh well, and we got early grenades here from Ku. Early grenades, almost catching Unknownlegend there, but he does manage to move Sturm Pioneers just in time. You don't see early grenades from the Americans a lot, but when they are used, they can be quite lethal and devastating, particularly if the opponent's expecting them, because most American players never go for early grenades. But well utilised, they are potent. They are very potent. They can sort of quickly land up some huge hits, wipe units, and so on. They can, of course, further strengthen the riflemen where they're already good, which is in close quarters combat. So this is a very sort of strong choice here, I think, for Ku in the early game. Very aggressive. My God, Fritz, they're only supposed to have grenades if they ever get them, like, later into the match. It's a match? What are you talking about? This is war. Yeah. Just keep pretending that. Closing versus Rifle up north here. Battlegroove headquarters up there for Unknownlegend. And there we go, closing up. He doesn't quite have the munitions, but even this could very well threaten Unknownlegend. Then again, mentally, Unknownlegend myself is striking when it comes to the opponents getting grenades. Again, like, you can catch a lot of players, I think, surprised at the moment if you go for early grenades as the Americans. I mean, I know I get surprised my opponent singing in the first 3 to 4 minutes of the game suddenly pops a grenade at me. That's usually, my God, what is this? Keeps faking out. The ultimate has forced to pull away there, but still quite impactful there. First grenade, I think. And we can see the Unknownlegend, I think, is being a bit more cautious about his opponent. He's going for an MG34 here. No flag half track, probably due to the fuel loss there, losing the northern fuel without getting the southern fuel as fast as possible. More to support the rifle as Ku launches a southern thrust here. Very nice work here by both players so far. Clearly deft and experienced players. Hardened veterans of many fights. MG34 setting out, they're heading for the northern fuel point here. Back here, troops reinforcing, ambulance almost done for Ku. Of course, with the ambulance and the early grenades, he won't be taking up nearly as fast, but of course, he's sort of trying to carry himself through here with the early grenades. Again, just forcing Unknownlegend to be more careful, getting potentially a few early wipes because, again, your opponent doesn't expect it, and that way, sort of pulling through. And it might seemingly be working, at least for now. I mean, he's definitely stalled. I think Unknownlegend getting out of flak half track too fast, forcing him to rely here on the MG34. Maschinengewehr. 34. The predecessor is the MG42. Most of those shifting about, grabbing the center victory point. Rifleman versus Volksgrenadiers here. One hand grenade off. Grenade exchange that seems to have. There go grenade off here first from Ku and oh! Unknownlegend doesn't realise it! Oh! Good lord! This is the sort of stuff I'm talking about. I mean, one grenade in the right place can have a massive impact. He almost got a full squad wipe there, which would have been huge against Unknownlegend. Huge! So, I mean, that's the sort of thing that can sort of swiftly shift around a lot of engagement. The MG34 a bit on its own, but still, used properly, it can of course provide sufficient firepower for those men. Unknownlegend here going for fortifications, digging in here with the 106th Panzer Brigade Feldherrnhalle. Formed up from men of the Sturmteilung or SA. Obviously after it got disbanded, but sort of as the war went on, need to create new elite units. They sort of look for different sources. And from the SA, those formed a Panzergrenadier division and then the Panzer Brigade, which would never actually link up. One would exclusively fight on the Western Front, the other one exclusively fight on the Eastern Front. Fun fact. Mortar fire against the MG34 that pulls ahead. Again, aggressive MG34 play here from Unknownlegend. Very aggressive machine gun play. Which again, to an extent, is how the MG34 and MG42 had to be used. Even the tripod ones, in fact, if used defensively, they're generally taken away from the tripod and used on the bipod instead. Of course, not quite this aggressively. But there you go, point secured, more force way here. And light infantry on the flying fire support as well for Unknownlegend. Flak half track following up here for him. On top of everything, riflemen through the south. Up north here, big guard forces moving ahead, though heavily wounded. Alright, Fritz, quit whining. We all know your spleen hurts. Don't worry, it's not a vital organ. Trees shattered here by the light infantry gun. Minesweepers about there. Not really a lot of mines down here from Unknownlegend. There have been a few. There have been a few, though, up here, which is probably what prompted Ku to get one. We got the cap now. I mean, obviously, against this actually makes sense. When you're going for grenades, you're probably not going to focus on much in return. That kind of aggressive play. So, Ku is likely going to sort of focus on using the cap maybe for the steward and some other bits that way push through. Maybe pack howitzers. We got a Panzershake up here for Unknownlegend Sturmpioniere. Interesting. He's obviously anticipating light vehicles of some sort. And S-Mons now available here for Unknownlegend. Flak half track running southwards. Rather than being suppressed by the MG34, which Unknownlegend so far is swinging about aggressively. There you go. Captain seizes upon the light infantry gun. Almost getting it there. Sturmpioniere is meant to try and sort of stop that. Flak after him. Pack out only for Ku. He's actually got no anti-tank weapons. While Unknownlegend is clearly anticipating Ku to go for light vehicles, Ku is not anticipating Unknownlegend apparently. That's an interesting development there. I mean, the pack house is powerful, but against a flak half track, it's not so powerful. There we go. Ku suddenly realizes he's got something else he needs. And the mortar crew just went haywire. It's a sort of weird bug with the mortar crew when it gets, for whatever reasons, like the skin of the mortar crew wants to stay attached and it doesn't want to go out. So normally the Gibbs is just sort of actually it's just a blown up grenadier from Companies 1. That's sort of just been slightly changed to the fact they didn't fix that one and don't do anything about that. Here it sort of tries to stick in and that sort of leaves to these sort of weird bits there because the skin is just stretching out. And again, that sounds really weird, but that's basically how it works. Rather than being engaged with the flak hafter, the flak hafter is giving Unknownlegend a lot of firepower in the move and making it much harder for Ku to use his infantry freely. And I'm a bit again surprised that Ku did not anticipate. He's even lost his captain here. Quite nasty. The other Kenner following up here for Unknownlegend. You've seen the captain, obviously, so he's likely anticipating a Stuart light tank. Of course, Ku here might not even be caring about that. He's going to, go straight for the Shermans. Though he first wants a pack howitzer. He really wants a pack howitzer. Sturmpioniere holding up here behind some old sandbags. Tossed over. I'm doing the cameras. The Sturmpioniere is at max range. I mean, with a Panzershake and single assault rifle, the rifle definitely got that one in check. Though the flak half track is obviously going to try and ruin that one. Southern field secured there for Deutschland. Got the Reasons checking it with the Minesweeper again. And there you go, Rapid tank to push hit. Runs straight into the flak. Half track and he's 2 centimeter flak. Come on, Fritz, says 4 still alive. Aim properly, my god. Aim properly. Where did you learn to shoot? Italy? Quick bun hunt gun against the reactions in the south, burning them up. Need to retreat, they got the anti-tank setting up. Flak half timing about up north here, munitions being secured by Ku's infantry. Interesting enough, he's not really putting a lot of pressure into the south there, and he's also not really going for a doctrine. I mean, obviously, Unknownlegend hasn't really revealed his technically, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, airborne at this point increasingly looks like a fair one. They could also go for infantry, howitzers, light machine guns, mortar half tracks. Even that one's, I think, a rather overlooked unit in the American arsenal. But in 1 vs 1's on the reason, 2 vs 2's. It does see some usage, and it's quite a nuisance. So you can just keep throwing white phosphorus everywhere. But we got the pack out here, also source of white phosphorus, by the way. Grenade off of the full grenades. Oh dear! And a white crow lost there for Unknownlegend and the Feldherrn-Halle Panzer Brigade, also known as the 106th Panzer Brigade. German pioneers repulsed. Also, fun fact: the 106th Panzer Brigade, aka the Panzer Brigade Feldherrn-Halle, was, I think, one of the few, if not the only, Panzer Brigade which was not dissolved or upgraded or somehow, merged into another unit by the end of the war. It actually managed to stay a Panzer Brigade throughout the entire sort of its existence to the end of the war. Fun fact there, by the way. Fun fact. And there you go. Ku does indeed go for airborne, calling in some paratroopers. Some sky guys. God damn it, Carl. Stop calling them sky guys. They get really pissed off, those sky guys. I mean paratroopers. Got the reasons stinging in here from the north. Unknownlegend doing what he can here. Paratroopers landing up north. You got the double Brownings on the way for him here. No Thompsons for Ku. No Thompsons. Flag half tech moving in again. Pack out there. A lot of stuff that's sort of reshuffling within the base. Paratroopers will have to moving south. So it's fancy beginning to put more pressure on that one. Ooh, nice hit there for the pack outs of the foot gunners. I mean, he's actually got a lot of artillery with the pack outs and the mortar. And the pack outs is a pretty solid piece of artillery, by the way. A lot of players, I think, underestimate how useful the pack outs is. In particular, once it gets on and with some experience, it becomes really good. In particular, that you two connected damage tanks with its barrages, which is definitely not something that should be taken lightly. You got the scrap hunters, of course, going out there for Unknownlegend, the 107th Panzer Brigade. Ooh, getting some hits on the lightest Infanteriegeschütz crew. In the south, the very good move there by Ku. Very good. A nice little raid with the sky guys. Second anti-tank in here for Ku is obviously anticipating that Unknownlegend's going to be pulling out armor for him, or he might just want to really, really destroy that flak half tank. I mean, that is a possibility, you know. Some people really hate flak half tracks. Flak half tank in there. Need someone to spot for it. Got the fuel, so good. And there you go, rifle immediately suppressed here by the flak half track. 2 centimeter high explosive rounds is not something to laugh at. And there you go, just retreat. We've got a assault routes going up slowly here for Unknownlegend's troops. Very slowly, we can see the Ku's control more of the map. You should actually consider taking up there. I mean, he's certainly got resources. We can begin pushing for Germany soon. He's got the tech done. Ooh, MU-34 caught here, flank with the rifle. We've got the flak half track carrying the flank beautifully there for Unknownlegend. Oh, he got off the fuel point, further keeping Ku's control, allowing Ku to further roll ahead and fuel. I mean, you're getting 30 fuel there versus 22. Paratroopers got the point there. They have yet to see any action. North there, we got Reasons just hiding out in the house, just spotting out for any targets. Any krauts. And there you go, full charging in. Again, need to be careful about here with grenades. He's already lost one unit to grenades, almost lost another to it. And there you go, grenade off. Poor Fritz in this case too slow. Mortifier that takes out Dietrich. And there you go, double Brownings firing out through the windows. MU-34 crew finding herself a bit outgunned in that department. Flag half-tech shifting about. Troops reinforcing healing. House has seen a bit better days than the rear, they're certainly also a bit dying outside of it. Have also seen better days. And you've heard from me hitting from the Browning light machine gun. That seems like a bit of a tactically ill-advised idea. And we got a howitzer up here for Unknownlegend. Interesting enough, that does delay his tech. On the other hand, it's going to be tricky for Ku to counter. And on a smaller map like this, it's going to be able to fire straight into the base. In fact, it's going to be able to be reasonably accurate because scatter depends on distance. And well, considering it can shoot further than the map actually is, that means it's not going to be firing at max range, meaning overall scatter is going to be not too much of an issue. And that's one of the issues with actually having two small maps. It kind of makes stuff like the howitzer here and any sort of other artillery kind of nasty. Particularly the heavier stuff, like howitzers. Mortars so-so, but like howitzers, things like that can really become nasty. So that is a slightly important detail. I mean, I'll have to see how Ku reacts to this arrival of Deutsches Feldartillerie. But we can see he's controlling the fuel points. He's also taking up. Got to pull it for tanks first ahead of his opponent. That's definitely going to help him. That might even allow him to take it out if he sets up properly for it. A smoke screen here and some artillery there. Maybe a diversion elsewhere. And then striking at it with a tank and taking it out. I mean, interesting to note, the engine Unknownlegend does not mind the approaches yet. So that could work out, in fact. But there you go. Artillery fire here. Trying, I think, to silence the pack howitzer. I do believe that's what he's doing. Got 8 kills there. Veterans 1. Trees, debris, everything's being shattered around it, but no Americans are actually dying to the howitzer. Full moves to the Major and the Rifle Squad, and there you go. Brandham got off. Slowly sending to the Yankees. More troops could be dispatched northwards there. In the meanwhile, in the south, mortar anti-tank and Padge was holding up. There you go. Big German push here. Full crew supported by an MD-34. Padge was doing came with the brown light machine guns falling back to safe positions. He realised maybe that might be something supporting the Fultz Grenadiers, so he sees it. Not entirely sure there. Either way, he falls back, which I think is the right decision. I mean, there's in the possibility of a flak half track, in which case he wants to, you know, bait it into the flak half track on the anti-tank. I mean, not the flak half track. There you go, Mortar getting some good kills. Shifting about. He needs to be careful about the house, just sort of shattering that house pretty quickly. Hey, Joe. Yeah, is this house rated secure for artillery? Probably not. Could we, like, maybe do it? Well, maybe if the Canadians had coded in stuff like sandbags inside houses and allowing them to be fortified for artillery, but I guess they figured it wouldn't be easy to balance. Oh, what? No, we don't have that. Scar on the way for Ku. I'm not entirely sure about this choice. I think you're better off with a tank right away rather than the Scott first. Like, that just feels like he's going to just try and out-artillery his opponent with a howitzer. I mean, it's going to sort of have a lot of artillery in some senses, but the howitzer just sort of packs the biggest punch. And that's definitely not something to be taken lightly. In particular, it's ultimately the safest of the bunch. I mean, I think you'd be able more easily to threaten a howitzer with the, you know, tanks. That's just me. And more finds of the base here with the 105 howitzer. So far, it's not really doing a lot, and that's great there for Ku. It's just bait. Oh, he actually got some kills there. Oh dear. Looks like he landed a hit there on something. I'm not entirely sure what he did there, but something died. Might have been the pack house that got hit by a lucky shot. Rather than being stopped by a suppressor fire and everything else there. Padge was trying to get closer to them. You've had 4 minutes dead and get met with a hailstorm of bullets and death. You know, Dieter, what? I thought only the Russians were supposed to be running at our machine guns like that. Well, you know what? Americans. Mortar than any good hit. Pack out yet to be crude. Should probably get that done fast. We got some orbital down out there for Unknownlegend. And you've heard for heading southwards. Unknownlegend set himself up in a set of position which is going to make him rather vulnerable to any artillery if Ku can sort of get it all working. I still feel like the Scott is a weird choice at the moment. I mean, maybe later on, but right now, I would think you'd be rather going for, you know, a Detroit Steamer, like aka the Sherman, so that way chance to push ahead more aggressively. But guess we find out. Could go for one later. Hold here by the sharp-handed quarters. There you go, Scott going in for the MG34. Shoots up closer with the 75mm shells. By the way, it uses the same gun as on the pack howitzer. Fun fact. Almost got the MG34. They're pushing off the southern fuel again. We got Raptors orbital dart easily closing in. Each grenade and each retreat. Probably both. Or just retreat. There you go. Geballte Ladung. Pack howitzer good to go. Orbital takes a hit. That's sort of up north, I think. Shattering the house. And we got the Scott rolling in for that support, pushing back the orbital dart, or at least the orbital dart were retreating. Stuff being fixed up, healed, prepared for the next big push, southern and the half thing secure. I mean, Ku's overall doing reasonably well, and just not over-focusing in the centre, but, you know, heading left, right, and centre, trying to keep Unknownlegend guessing, whereas Unknownlegend, of course, also doing a bit of work here and there, but he's slightly more focused in the centre, but I wouldn't say detrimentally so, at least not so far. Of course, controlling this point also helps him cut off the southern fuel and any resources there, so it makes sense he's trying to push for this. So both players would say are so far tactically flexible. Just a bit disappointing there in Ku's lack of attack, because now Unknownlegend is going to be pushing for a Panzer IV. That's going to obviously be a bit of a problem there for Ku to deal with. Well, not a huge problem. He's got 2 anti-tank guns, but it will be able to sort of contain him more easily, and the anti-tank guns will be struggling to sort of, you know, keep up with it. So there you go. Panzer IV out here for Unknownlegend, the 106th Panzer Brigade Feldherrnhalle. He keeps running at this. I think he keeps forgetting this. Schwerpanzer quarters. He might be using it as a bait for a artillery strike. Yep. Bait for an artillery strike, but needs to retreat here before he loses everything. Problem is, I don't think in a half maybe this artillery strike is sufficient. And there you go, he lost the Scott. Like, the Scott just really felt like a weird choice by Ku, to be honest. And honestly, I think you're better off trying to call in the artillery and the howitzer around the Schwerpanzer quarters, because that one's, well, a lot more vulnerable, and removing that one would remove a threat for his base, whereas the Schwerpanzer quarters can't threaten his base. But there you go, calling in air support to help deal with the Panzer IV. You've got the flak half-track moving in. Oh dear. Anti-tank gun wiped. Looks like he got away. We've got artillery raining down here on Ku's base as well. It's the second Scott? Holy what? Why is he going for all of these Scots? Flak after sort of the edge here. Still taking advantage of this to hold the southern resource push ahead. So even with the losses he's suffered, he is pushing back Unknownlegend for now. Unknownlegend, of course, wisely pulled back his Panzer IV for repairs. But I think Ku's insistence in going for Scots right now feels a bit weird. I mean, he's got plenty of fuel. He'd be better off just going, I think, for Shermans and maybe some Jacksons rather than aiming for the Scots. And of course, that is clearly just me and my opinion. It just seems weird. Troops will press the flak after that pullback. It's actually virtually free, which is really good there for him. And there you go, we got the second Scott moving in, repulsing Unknownlegend's troops. Archer there with 3 kills still, though it is now veterans he won. Check of course his ways. Oh, he's got it on counter barrage. Interesting. Problem is, it doesn't allow him to choose. In this case, he's going to try and counter barrage the Scott. I mean, I suppose that could be a reason he's going for it, because he's anticipating his opponent's going to use counter barrage maybe, instead of using the Scott as bait. And again, pretty easy baits, and he just needs to shoot once, get detected, and then the Hards begin shooting. And of course, he needs to be a bit more careful about his positions, because, well, he might risk, you know, it begins shooting into his retreat path for a lot of his units, which is pretty bad there for Ku. Scott already heavily damaged here. Both anti-tank and spotted here. Ku needs to be careful. Foresight, and He really needs a tank. Proper tank. Meanwhile, Unknownlegend has a proper tank. In fact, he can soon go for a second proper tank. Got the orbital and they're moving about. Scott being fixed up. Hitting the northern munitions. With a few brave and plucky riflemen. Scott being fixed up. More heading northwards. Rather than under fire here from the flak half track, Veterinary 3 halfway to Veterinary 4. Being slowly blasted a bit, grabbing the northern fuel back again for America. Got the petrol against the orbital done, shots being fired here. We got Veterinary 2 kills. Northern fuel being secured. Pack out to Veterans 1, 4 kills. Mortar the 8 kills. Veterans 3. And we got to the fire they're going from at the house. Trying to silence once more. The mortar getting something there. Getting 2 kills. Getting 2 kills. In the south here we got the Scott with some petrol support pushing back some of Unknownlegend southern troops. And they go Rearson's rushing in. Veterans 3 flak half deck still about. Ku continues. Well, he's suffering from manpower bleed obviously. So it's a bit more tricky for him to go for any immediate tanks. But still, I do think he should try. I do think he should try. Shroud Punch Corps being fixed up. He's really been focusing a lot of firepower trying to silence it. Obviously with limited success here. I mean, if you can get the pack out up to 52, it should be able to do a lot of damage to the Shroud Punch Corps, seeing it done quickly. But it still requires him to get it there after it got wiped rather unceremoniously by something there. Possibly the German artillery. Troop ceiling reinforcing. Shifting back, victory points wise. We also got a fat lead for Unknownlegend. We got the MB-54 with Panther 4 support moving to the north, sweeping out the mansion of any Yankees. Though, probably should have sent in a regular infantry squad as well to at least draw some of the fire away from the MB-54. There you go. Again, trying to take it out. Pack out to Scott firing. He really wants that Shroud Panther quarters dead. No match the cost. I'm still a bit surprised. Oh, he gets the Storm Pioneer squad though. That's really bad. For Unknownlegend, that means he's got nothing to repair his Panzer with. My God, I told him, don't repair, but under fire from the Yankees. Ach, mein spleen. Direct fire here. Needs to be careful about his artillery. I mean, I don't think Ku has realised maybe actually he's got his opponent with counter artillery on the howitzer. That's basically all he's doing. Because I don't think he's positioning all of his anti-tank guns right next to the pack howitzer like that. Though hopefully he should be realising it soon. Got almost out the fuel pump, actually suffered a few losses. Flak half track veteran. Before could have got the pencil moving in still. No real anti-tank or armour here for Ku. Still very much short on that department. Got the reason they're getting blasted by the flak half deck, by the Panzer up north. We got Germans securing troops securing the northern fuel with assault rifle and MG-34. Paratrooper just sort of standing about here. Do you think he's still alive? He's dead, Carl. He's dead. And what is this? We got searing artillery here from him. Interesting, right around the anti-tank guns position. Oh. Attack northwards. Ku needs to be careful there. But he really needs some. And there we go. In the south, paratroopers once more halted by the eternal enemy, the flak half track. Down to just 2 men, 2 lonely souls. 1 lonely soul. But then makes a very lonely retreat. As his comrades lie dead in the muck, torn to shreds by a German 2cm flank on a half track. Turn to the Fult's gonna need to see it. Need to pop a grenade, I think. Here. Need to pop a granata. He just needs to retreat there. Could have popped a grenade, I think, with chat luck. Grabbing the northern fuel point again. He's getting so much fuel, he's just not able to use it. Partly because of the manpower bleed, I think, primarily. And that Howitzer is definitely not making it easier for him. And he still hasn't been able to destroy the Shroud Punch course, so he's theoretically close to be able to do it now. In fact, his pack cards are actually 2, which makes it much better for it due to the increase in damage. I think Unknownlegend at this stage can try and play for the King Tiger, which might be the safer bet anyway, since the Shroud Punch course is not going to live much longer. And obviously getting rid of that's going to deny Unknownlegend here a bit of a safe zone around his headquarters. Grenade over the Fulton Grenadiers. Oh, almost going to wipe this Shroud Punch quarters. Finally bites the dust on the Fulton Grenadiers. Oh, scheisse. Run, Fritz. Done. In the south, Enter-Tank and here versus Flag Half-Tank. Almost got it. Gets away. Pop smoke. Good work there by Unknownlegend. Gute Arbeit, mein Freund. Quick pound upgrade against the Fulton Grenadiers. Enter-Tank and crew bit the dust. The grenade itself rather missed the mark for America. Ooh, Scott the drunk fire again, and getting stuck, caught up in the bat pathing from the anti-tank gun. He's still really forcing a lot of troops. He's still not doing a lot with his fuel, whereas Unknownlegend is at least playing, I think, more conservatively. He can't afford it for much longer, so trying to set up for the King Tiger. Die Königstiger. Is it der Königstiger or das Königstiger? The German grammar never was that good. Oh, we seem to suppress the fire there with the paratroop from the Fulton Grenadiers. And go Orbital Dart and MU-34 catching laughing in a deadly crossfire. We got Veteran 3 on the MU-34. Pretty good stuff there for Unknownlegend. For the Feldherrnhalle Panzerbrigade. Paratroops in the Panzer Marine swinging forwards. Spots some Yankees and opens up. And we got White Phosphorus around here. Interesting choice. Though it's actually missing the mark so far. Directed here, wiping out some of the pack cards and stuff. Only wants to get close to the house, and even then it's just sort of slightly... You know, Fritz, it feels a bit hot here, yeah, but you know, could be worse. At least we get a nice tan. Next to us, guys, we got a nice chemical burn. Ha ha ha. But the orbital nails being annihilated. And we got the Howitzer back in action, close to Veteran 3 here. And we immediately begin shifting stuff about here. In the south, Pensacola Flak Half-Track utterly annihilating the Rifle and forcing a swift retreat from the survivors as they reconsider their direction in life, or possibly even in death. There you go, crew finally goes for something. It's a Jackson tank, so I'd help you with a Flak Half-Brit, the Panzer IV. Certainly a strong choice here in the current meta. Will also be helpful as the King Tiger, as the King Tiger can't keep pace with a Jackson tank destroyer, and even it can't easily finish it off. Jackson slowly being done there. We got MD-34 there being shot, shooting the paratroopers to bits. Their incendiary piercing rounds being utilised for extra Yankee killing. Scott there, veterans you too. 300 points left here. Unknownlegend slowly sort of chipping away now at Ku's victory points, but we'll have to see if we can keep up this forever, or for at least for how long. Shooting enforcing, fixing up the Scott. Jackson is done there for Ku. Flag Half-Track is veteran 5, 37 kills. Up north we got the Scott versus the Panzer 4. Shoots and almost misses. We got the Jackson sitting out here though for Ku now. M36 with a 90mm cannon. Open topped, which did result on occasion in the Jackson tank destroyers falling back from an engagement due to the worry about Germans using airburst shells, which would be pretty lethal towards the crew in the turret. Fun fact. Fortunately, entertaining a bit exposed. There you go, Scott getting a single kill in the centre. They got paratrooper rifle push force, almost going the orbital on wipe. Though his only orbital lad squad and would not be able to replace it. Jackson is seemingly trying to play a game there with the Panzer IV, but it's a bit afraid to actually pull through. Flag half check. Veteran 5, 38 kills. Outstanding work there by Unknownlegend. Outstanding work. Managed to hit the Panzer IV with the Scott. They did pop smoke just to be sure he could actually get out of there. Unknownlegend continued to bleed out Ku here resources of victory points. There's certainly been a lot of artillery fire across the map though here. A lot of artillery fire. Smoke's been down here. Good use of it. But he actually remembered to use it. You can see he's actually attacking ground. I think sort of got an idea where the rifle now, sort of just blasting through here the smoke. Good counter move though by Unknownlegend. Good counter move. My God, Fritz, what should we do? Just fire into the smoke. So obviously going to walk into it. Just fire. Don't worry, you'll hear the scream soon enough. There you go. Jackson goes to the flag half check. Pop smoke. Can't quite finish it off there. Can't quite finish it off. Hitting the southern victory point. Very good. Got the center one rendered neutral as well. So he should be able to get back on bleeding Unknownlegend out here. Unknownlegend just eats a bit of manpower. Except he's got too many troops. He can't actually go for the King Tiger now. He might be off actually expending some of his resources on bunkers or flak emplacements. I've been going for new schwer panzered quarters. Paratrooping for the fuel point there, down to 126 here for Unknownlegend for Deutschland. Howitzer just keeps flying away. It's not doing too much, but it basically means he doesn't have to actually manage the Howitzer. What he's doing is just, basically just shoots. So I mean, there are some advantage doing that, but at the same time, it does make things, I think, further random. Though, considering how a lot of people use their Howitzers, this is probably actually a lot more efficient because some players just sort of hope for the enemy to be able to just fire blind, whereas this at least ensures it's firing at, roughly where there is something. Rather than just hoping there is something you can shoot at. Got the repair pioneers up. Unknownlegend continue to have a large force he can't really do anything with. And Ku can actually consider maybe some more armor soon. But this he'd probably just go for another Scott. I don't think he's got population for anything else. You could also go for Stuart though. I don't think a Stuart here would make a lot of sense. A lot of artillery fire again here, a lot of artillery fire. Yeah, he's shifting about units again. Almost got the mortar there with the howitzer, which is now almost a vet 74. Bit of a standoff here between the two players, and there you go. He goes for the second Scott. He goes for more artillery. So it's going to be a bit of an artillery duel here. In this case, though, one big artillery piece, one smaller, versus more numerous small artillery pieces here from Ku. So quantity versus quality, if you will. But in reality, the American artillery system was actually pretty sophisticated and in many ways much stronger than the Germans. While the Germans did have the advantage of sort of having artillery tactically available for every division, even to down to the battalion level, the issue was, on the other hand, they couldn't really coordinate on large low that was what the Americans were really good at. Coordinating their artillery. And while the Germans technically could create sort of larger sort of artillery commands to sort of coordinate artillery, in fact some of their bigger victories were used that, problem was it wasn't organic, like specifically in a high field or ranking commander had to specifically put one together, and they didn't always do that, and even that of course was occasionally some friction. That's a little fun note there on artillery. Double Scots there. A lot of smoke here being utilised now all of a sudden by Ku. This is almost guys upon down to 100 victory points while he's got 232. There you go, double Scots with the full grenadiers, shots flying. Almost getting the full Scots, there we go. They're bunched up by cover, and there you go. They swiftly retreat in the face of the double Scots, which can very easily land a hit. Oh, Panther flank through the south, good work there by Unknownlegend, getting a bit more aggressive, a bit more bold, a bit more focused. Gaining victory 2 on the Panzer IV, has got the anti-tank gun. Unit wipes some. Very good work here by Unknownlegend. Gute Arbeit, mein Freund. Looks like Ralph's got the dip bite the dust. And there you go. Panzer engaged with the Jackson and tank. And they're trying to set up. You got a kid off the ring itself. Paratroop being suppressed by the veteran 5 flak half track with 48 kills. Lost another team here. In this case, an anti-tank crew somewhere bit the dust. Unknownlegend really beginning to put the screws on Ku here, and Ku needs to do something, I think, drastic to really turn this around, because the sort of current stage of fighting is sort of now being slowly turned in favour of Unknownlegend due to, I think, some better tactics here and there. Plus, the flak half track is just proven to be wild, and that's only 5. 50 kills there, 50 kills. So much artillery, though. I bet you 2 the Alpha 53 of the pack howitzer. Howitzer veteran 4. Jackson shoots, snaps some poor bastard. Round being suppressed the Injury 4. Also veteran 5. He's got a lot of veteran 5 things, to be honest, and not just the usual full skin hits, but also less usual things. Like flak half tracks and MD-34s. And almost a howitzer. There definitely needs, I think, to be some appreciable change in Ku's tactics, because otherwise he's just going to get ground down. Meanwhile, Unknownlegend is sort of floating a lot of resources apart, because again he's just not suffering enough to really do it. I mean, again, Ku's tactics, I think, overemphasize artillery at the moment, not really doing serious damage to Unknownlegend. So in that regard, he's just sort of slightly falling behind. And almost getting the MD before they go. Wiped and destroyed. Very good work there. Very good work. Until the raining down, getting his remaining anti-tank gun. He's leaving with only the anti-tank gun to deal with any German armor. Unknownlegend, though, can actually soon consider going for the King Tiger. Really close to losing his stuff inside the base as the Howitzer just continues to hammer away. 17 kills. Almost 25. A good hit on the Scotch and the Jackson. Super close. The armor falling back for repairs. Anti-tank gun wrecked here by Unknownlegend's Panzerkampfwagen 4. In the south, Oberstleutnant booby trapping the point. So what do you use as a booby trap? Oh, you know, so usual. Just find some cheap copy of the American Constitution. See, always go for that one. McKenna with a wipe almost got the light infantry gun as well here. But he is taking severe damage from the flak half attack. 61 kills! That's definitely Knight's Cross worthy there. That's definitely Knight's Cross worthy. And they survived the war, which they didn't. Well, maybe someone did. War crime worthy. But it finally went down there. That's a huge victory for Ku. Huge victory, of course. Victory turns into slight problems as we now finally got the King Tiger out. The Königstiger. Tiger 2. It does have an anti-tank the Jackson to put some pressure on it. So there you go, King Tiger on a hit, Pendulum machine on the way there for the Königstiger. Shoots and lands a good hit. Almost takes out the Rifle Squad. Panther takes from the anti-tank and the Jackson. Pops the armor piercing round to increase damage. Shots fired there, doesn't quite hit. Almost got the Panther 4 there. Shots fired as well there. He could actually try and bait the King Tiger to a decision and then call in artillery air support on. We got 8-trap rounds up on the Jackson. 8-trap rounds, but it's not within range. It's not within. Oh, there you go. Gets it off a shot. Gets a shot. King Tiger almost down to half health there from all the armor piercing rounds being fired at it. Another penetrating hit. There we go. P-47's flying in. King Tiger down to less than half health. More rockets flying there. King Tiger down to less than a shred of health. And the tank gun taken out. It was looking so good for Unknownlegend, but in the end, one Jackson and anti-tank and a bit of P-47, and he just sort of vanished. He still got his tanks, though. He still got his tanks, and he still got the howitzer, which is still super close to Veteran 5. Reason's on the way there for Ku. Another unit wipe. Not entirely sure where they bit the dust. Probably inside the base of the howitzer, maybe? Nope. Well, that definitely is something that Ku needs to replace. I mean, just 2 infantry squads is not going to, be enough here. That is not going to be enough. Northern victory pump secured here by the paratroopers, hoisting about with light machine guns and carbines. That's on the way. That's probably going to show our punted quarters for Unknownlegend. King Tiger there seeing repairs most needed. What the hell happened to you? American anti-tank fire. Oh, scheiße. Yeah. "25 kills there, a kill for wiped. After finding a need to reposition the pack houser, we were ashamed to lose eventually 3 pack houser now. Panzer sending out Schwab, Wehrmacht schlepping ahead. And there you go, destroying the Kednev here with a well-placed shot from the Panzer IV. This place going to slip and cover the centre victory point there with the Schwab punted quarters. Of course, it also makes it an easy target for any German stuff. There's a bit of a backside to that one there for Unknownlegend. Lost another unit. The pack howitzer crew actually went down to the howitzer. Now, veteran 5, 21 kills. Okay, we're creeping up on the veteran 3 pack. Scott. North Patriot, they're taking out a full scan in this squad. Both sides are bleeding out here. This is a rather aggressive slug out. Rather aggressive. Rifleman taking several losses to the booby trap there. But it was the Constitution. How could they booby trap it? I think that's the point, yo. Glad. Scott Jackson hanging back here. Ku going for replacement rifle. Good. Unknownlegend so far not going for anything there. Up north, King Tiger with him support moving ahead. Very good tactical formation there by Unknownlegend. Alright, I want you guys coming my right flank, guys. My left flank for the mines people in case those Yankees lay down mines. Not that they ever do, but I don't want to be caught out here with a blown up engine or some busted tracks. Guys, soon until calling in the Scots. An over area here. Interesting positioning. Almost got the rifle there with it. And the howitzer took them out. Oh, snot biscuits. Up north, the King Tower, they're swinging through here. Dismantling what Ku's got left, I think. Ku is just getting brutalized. He's just putting so much fuel. And again, I think his emphasis on artillery without sufficient everything else has been helpful for him. Rifle annihilated. Ku is being broken here. P-47's called in here. P-47's called in. King Titan taking hits here. No HVAC rounds to the Jacks. You should really pop them just to increase the chance of them doing some damage. There you go. More hits there, more hits. Good hit there from the Jackson. Good hit. Shot bounced actually. That's kind of impressive. That is one crazy engagement here. Good hit then the Panzer IV down to 58 victory points though. Panzer IV landed a decent hit there. Landed a decent hit. Patriot 13 kills, going for another. Jackson to increase the chance of the army. Shouldn't forget the infantry, and he should not be ignoring the howitzer. 23 kills. Ku has lost all of his riflemen. Unknownlegend there replacing any losses there with Obersoldaten. That's definitely not a bad long-term strategy, I think, at this stage of the fight. Quite a long one though. We're slowly approaching 1 hour at this rate. At 48 minutes, so I mean, who knows how long this could go on. Jackson almost done. Got the Panzer holding Southwards, very very close to 53, supporting an orbital and squad moving in. Rushing in like Kenneth like that. Might have been misclick or might just be Unknownlegend getting bought. Oh! Did he just do that to destroy the ambulance? Did he just... Alright men, you have a vital task. Jawohl, we are ready to give our lives for Germany. Your task is to move into the American base and shoot the ambulance. Are you kidding us? 9. It is of vital importance to Germany that you creep into their base and destroy that ambulance. Ready. 25 kills there. Howitzer with still 23 kills. Direct hit on the King Tiger. $183 versus 53. Versus bringing strength to line of fire the King Tiger, which is once more ready to wreak havoc on the Yankees. It's almost wiped out. King Jackson's moving in. They're taking up some hits from the artillery. Shot bounced. Pretty close there, pretty close. So close. I mean, Ku is still in the game after some of those losses he suffered against Unknownlegend. Certainly a bit amazing. We got another rifle score out there for Ku, another rifle score. We got mines almost finished there by Unknownlegend before the reason just decided to move on. Panzer IV super close to 83. Scott moving in. Got the howitzers just firing away some units. Oh, he wiped another Steel Pioneer squad by the looks of it. Trying to repair something. Of course, the repair Pioneers all the way up there. Oh, Scott! Down! It's down to just the Jacksons and there's a Kedmev in the way. Oh, there you go. It is retreating. It is retreating. Ku, though, continues to fight despite the severe beatdown he's been suffering from Unknownlegend here the last 10 minutes or so. He is utterly unwilling to give up. There you go. Each round rounds to the Jackson, increasing penetration. Shot there landing. Second shot landing. Paratroopers almost wiped out. It's the Southern Victory Point again. And you can see that Unknownlegend rushing in his troops to put a stop to that maneuver. Now the booby trap looks to have gone off. That's going to be another wipe. Too late though, too late.
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
Whoa. That piece of, I don't know what, went flying quite far. And there you go, Pendulum King Tiger squad rolling in, switch heading at the mortar. Wiping out. Ku is now just being disassembled forcefully by Unknownlegend. Scott the boy is still up, he's trying to fix it up. He get it going once more for America. Get it going once more. King Tiger rolling back. Going there for the Schwerpanzer quarters. He's put more effort into the Schwerpanzer quarters than he's done the howitzer. And then he goes straight from the Kennedy, gets the Schwerpanzer quarters, but takes every damage over the veteran free Kennedy and lost his remaining infantry squad. Ku's got barely anything left. He's still at it though. He's still at it, but I'm not entirely sure what make. The Scott is being stolen. It's Grand Theft Panzer for just a few seconds. Just he's done all that work, the Germans come and steal it. Finally, Ku here at the 53-54 minute mark is going for a Sherman, but I'm not entirely sure I was anticipating he's actually going to, win this at this stage, because his forces are just utterly browbeaten by Unknownlegend at this stage. Utterly beaten, silly, and into the ground. Ground the Southern Point, he's just booby trapping anything along the route there. Very good, very good. But clearly must be feeling he's got a chance of winning this. It's that he's intentionally wasting Unknownlegend's time. Got the Sherman sitting out there. 50 caliber on the way. High explosive rounds. High explosive rounds. Base straight into the... We go. There we go. Bet you feeling the Jackson. Pentacle down to half health. To half health. King Tiger drawing fire away from the Pentacle. Good way. Got the Sherman flanking in. Switching back to armor piercing rounds. But the tank weapons actually major threats right now for Ku because they importantly got no counters to them now. Oh, it retreats anyways. Jackson doing severe damage to the King Tiger using H-Trap rounds. Other one now got them available as well here. Second Trap Hunter Quartz going up there for Unknownlegend. Ku is still in the game somehow. He's almost got the King Tiger. Trap Hunter Quartz back in action. Getting bombarded here by the two Jacksons and the Sherman. Down to half health in a matter of moments already. More reasons out here for Ku. Losing the Northern Victory Point. Down to 103 versus 53. He's pushing it. The armor's going to lose the Sherman. Howitzer's being fired now. He's switched out to manual mode there. Panzer almost down to the Jacksons. King Tiger almost down. There's a kidnap still about there. Ku. No. He's just spamming re-echelons. That's all he can afford now to get any decent numbers out in the field. Jackson scarf away. Tanks pull back for desperate need repairs. This fight is nuts. Unknownlegend tanking for a fourth Trap Hunter Quarters, I think it is. Like, you usually don't see that many Trap Hunter Quarters lost in any one fight. Fixing up the pack character, fixing up everything. Booby trap off. Oh, looks that it's the concert. Oh god, man, those Germans! It's like they're reading us like an open book. Both Jackson operable. Rieson's wiped here by the Pentacle. Virtually 36 kills. Now the Shaman on the way there for Ku. Beard's about to get annihilated. Jackson there. Oh, saving them. Crushing Fritz and Ludwig. Is it back to Canada to the fight? Nope, he's just doing it manually now. Direct hit on the re-echelons. Wiping out another squad. Like, he's barely got anything. Yet he's still pretty determined. Down to 33 here versus 53. He's an optimist. More booby traps, more men getting blown apart as they find more fake constitutions. Grab the northern point. He's got no infantry left, by the way. He's down to tank destroyers and tanks. The United laying down S mines. I mean, Ku is definitely spirited here. He's got fighting him. We'll give him that. We'll give him that. That certainly feels a bit crazy. That feels a bit crazy. Sherman versus Fulton is almost getting them here, and that's going to be GG. Game over. Game over. An almost hour-long fight, and GG. Heavy losses here. Heavy losses mostly on Ku's side as the game went on. His Jacksons, though, did a ton of damage, and apparently still only managed so much efficiency, which is a bit crazy. Normally you'd figure they'd get high efficiency with that much damage. For some reason the game is just rating it all very low. I'm not sure why, to be honest. I mean, you'd figure again, that much damage just, high efficiency. I mean, it's rated as his most valuable unit, so it feels a bit weird that it took almost as much damage as it did. Which actually says a lot about the Jacks. They could deal that much damage, soak up that much damage on their own. But there you go, a brutal slug out here on favourable approach between the uppermost and the Americans. Really close fire times. I think Ku's own strategic mistake was just the emphasis on artillery when he should have pushed for more aggressive armor and sort of tried to outmaneuver him behind him more. As the game went on, and just, Unknownlegend sort of getting very stubborn, just slowly weighing him down with artillery and other bits there. So there were definitely some issues there for Ku as the fight went on. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, one, subscribe, tell a friend, just share it with everyone. If not, send a new plan of feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial 18. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another Sunday episode.